Hello children, it's good to be with you again. Today we're doing a little craft activity about the seed falling on good soil, because you learnt about the seed in the story today, about the seed falling on a different soil, different type of soils, and sometimes it didn't take because of the worries of the world or because the soil wasn't very good. But the seed that God's put into our hearts has fallen into the good soil of our hearts. And we want to do what Jesus says. We listen to Jesus and do what he says because he's our friend. So first we're going to make one of these today, which is a flower garden. Because when the seeds come into our hearts, they produce fruit and flowers of goodness and kindness and gentleness. So you're going to make a flower garden to illustrate all those. So for these things, you will need a tin of whatever, or a bottle of some sort, just something to support it. Your mum and dad can have the tins back later, but they just need them for just now. You will also need a stapler and a pair of scissors, or a hole punch if you've got one, and some sellotape. Quite a few things, I know. But you've got lots of stuff in your pack today, so first of all, we'll get out all the things that are in your pack. You've got some pipe cleaners, brown paper, which is the soil. Can you see the soil here, the brown paper? Some words out on a piece of card, which are the good fruits, which I'm hoping you will cut out yourselves. I don't know if you'll be able to see them from there, but I have been kind, smiled, worked hard. You're going to cut those out in a nice flowery shape like these yourself and put a hole in them. But let's get started first of all. First of all, we need a piece of card. This piece of card without anything on it. And I want you to cut off a piece about that size. It's about the same height as that. So perhaps about a third. You can tear it off or cut it off. It's fine. I think I'll just tear mine off. Okay? That's probably a wee bit big. So just take a little bit off the end, like that. Okay, so it's about that size. And then we'll use some more of this card. We're going to cut or tear a strip, which is going to go around the back of your tin to support, just to hold it up. So it'll go around the back of your tin like that, like that. Okay, and then this piece goes on the front. So we could sellotape that, or we could use one of our lovely, forgotten the name of these, paper fasteners. Now they're all a bit fiddly. You might need a grown-up to help you with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to staple it like I've stapled it here. Just staple that to there. Okay, and then you can staple the other side as well. So it fits round like that, okay? And if you fancy putting it one of those fancy split pins in, you can. But you probably need a grown-up to help you, because you have to make a bit of a hole to start with. So we'll put them to one side for just now. Now, on this front of this, you're also going to put your soil. So we're going to put that on there, stick it on. You can use a bit of sellotape, or you could staple it. It's up to you. I think I'll staple mine. Stapling's a bit quicker, isn't it? Staple that onto there, like that. And on the front of our card here, we're going to put our words, which is, I will listen to Jesus and do what he says. I am a friend of Jesus, or Jesus is my friend. And you can stick that on there. Or you could write it on yourself if you like. But just to be quick now, I'm just going to stick that on with a bit of Pritt stick. If I can find it, there it is. But you might like to write it on yourself, because then it helps you to remember, doesn't it? That we are going to do what Jesus says because he's our friend and we want to please him. And he actually changes our hearts, you know, doesn't he? So that the things that grow in our hearts are good, and we'll bless others, we'll bless our friends and people we don't know as well. Perhaps, you know, you can let a lady on the bus first, Or be kind to somebody. Let somebody at school take a turn first instead of always pushing to the front. All sorts of beautiful things that we can do because we love Jesus. And these are our flower stems. So what I did was I just twisted it a little bit like that and stuck it on the back here. Look, you see, like that. Stuck them on the back. So you stick them on the back. The sellotape's probably the best bet for that. I think they might fall off if you try to Pritt stick. Right, I'm going to stick them on there like that. I'll just do a couple just for the minute. I know they're not all green, they should be green, but I didn't have enough green pipe cleaners. Anyway, this is nice and cheerful, isn't it? Now then, that's the start of your garden. Where are you going to get the fruit from? Well, that's because you're going to do wonderful things. You are going to, for instance, being kind. So you're going to cut these out. Now, you've got to remember, when you cut these out, to leave a bit of space at the top, because you're going to need to make a hole in them. So I'm going to use my hole punch. You might need to practice this at first, but it's rather fun. Hole punch there. And I'm going to hang it on my plant. There. I have been kind. And it's going to go onto my bottle there. So that's the start of my garden. Now another one you can do now is I have worked hard. Because you have worked hard today. You've done these. You cut these out like this. Cut it out in a nice flower shape. I'm just doing these in a little bit quickly. Put a hole punch in. And I'm going to stick that on there. I have worked hard. And perhaps throughout this week, when you've done some good things, some of which are on your card, or some others that you might think of, or that your mums and dads and grannies and granddads might think of, you can have more, and by the end of the week you'll have a beautiful flower garden full of lots and lots of flowers. And I'd like to see pictures of that perhaps in the next couple of weeks, if you can. And you can bring them to, you can send them to church and we can all see them. And God will really bless you because of all the good things you're doing. It's like the fruit and the flowers that are coming out of your good soil in your heart. So God bless and have a wonderful